Carenza's take one.
Hi, Carenza.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you want to tell me a wee bit about yourself?
My name's Carenza. I'm 18 years old, and I'm an art student at the college.
And is that going good?
It's going swimmingly, I'd say.
I'm gonna get right into it. Do you ever feel maybe like you don't fit in?
Yeah, I've felt like that most of my life.
When do you think these fit-ins would have started?
Probably as soon as I started primary school.
And in what way did you feel like you didn't fit in?
Well, first of all, I have a weird name, which a lot of people, it's the first thing you learn about someone usually is their name. So that set me apart right from the start. But as I got older, I started to feel like I just acted differently from a lot of other people, or I looked differently from other people. But it doesn't bother me as much as it used to.
Did it really bother you growing up?
Yeah, for a while, I tried as hard as I could to fit in, but I'm at a place where I don't need to do that anymore.
And do you feel like that's better?
Yeah,
Are you happier?
I'm happier being myself.
Yeah. Would you say you fit in now, or?
I think I fit in with a niche group of people.
Yeah.
I still don't fit in the mainstream, but not everyone does. And I can at least fit in with those people.
Yeah, and you're happy where you're at?
Yeah, I think so.
Going back to growing up, maybe what was it that set you apart beside your name? Or how were you treated differently?
Growing up, I didn't talk like the other people that were in my age group. I talked about, things that probably didn't interest them as much as they interested me, or just the words that I would use. My vocabulary was always quite advanced, which made people stare at me as if I had two heads sometimes. People just treated me like I wasn't there, or maybe they treated me like I was some sort of circus freak, some sideshow attraction.
And that obviously wasn't good.
Yeah, it wasn't great. But the good thing was I didn't pick up on a lot of it because I'm autistic, so a lot of it went right over my head.
And would you say maybe being autistic, do you feel like you don't fit in as well, or?
Yeah. It's like everyone's on a different wavelength than you.
Yeah.
Whenever you're autistic, you're all making the same general shape, I think it definitely does affect my ability to fit in because it's something that people will pick up on, even subconsciously.
Yeah.
Even if they don't know what the word is for it. I think that was the problem in primary school because I wasn't diagnosed till secondary school. A lot of the kids, they knew something was weird about me, but they didn't know what it was. Even then, it's like I was on a different wavelength than them. A different, just at a different frequency. The way my brain was working or stuff.
So then when you got your diagnosis, maybe did that relieve you? Maybe you knew why you didn't maybe fit in, or how did that did it help you? Did it hinder you?
It did a bit of both at the start. Because on one hand I was like, well, at least now I know that I'm not just weird, and that there's a word for it. But at the same time, I was kind of annoyed that there was something wrong with me.
Yeah.
Not that it's
not wrong.
Not something wrong with me, but
you're just different.
Aye. But now, I'm fine with it. It's just how I am,
Yeah.
really.
And then going into secondary school, were you still treated differently? Did you not fit in, or how was secondary school for you?
Secondary school was a bit better, because at first, in first year I found other people who were on that same wavelength,
Yeah.
and who also didn't fit in. But it was a different sort of challenge where now we were all teenagers and we were all sort of developing our own personalities, and mine was still a bit odd compared to everyone else's. So it was different. I don't know if it's better or worse than my younger years.
And then in high school, did you dress different from everyone else? Were you alternative? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously you grew up rural as well. So was that also different? Because I know for me personally, I was different and I grew up rural, and that was very hard.
Oh, absolutely. Because, everyone else was cutting about in their Jack Wills hoodies and their brown boots and their polos. And I was coming in my ripped skinny jeans and my Doc Martens and my huge heavy eyeliner.
Yeah.
So I did stand out in that way as well. I still do, but perhaps not as much.
Yeah.
But
the alternative. You're the alternative.
I'm the alternative. Yeah. A little bit country, a little bit rock and roll.
Yeah. It's like you're in the middle, just a good mix of both.
Yeah.
Because I know personally for me, I felt like at the time I was the only different person in my school. Everyone else either was cutting about in their North Face coat or their brown dealer boots, and I wasn't. And it was very hard. It definitely was. So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you came here, obviously, you feel now like you fit in because everyone's kind of different.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you still feel maybe you don't fit in the class fully, or do you feel like you fully fit in and you're comfortable?
I think I'll always feel like I don't fit in.
Yeah.
Wherever I go.
It's just something that sticks with you.
It is something that sticks with you, especially if it's something that you've experienced at a really young age.
Yeah.
Because, those are your formative years, and the things that happen really do shape the way you see the world.
Yeah.
And I think because I didn't fit in then, I don't think I'll ever really feel totally secure in wherever I'm at.
Yeah. And saying that, when you feel like you're not ever going to fit in, would you ever change yourself to fit in, or do you think that's wrong?
No, I've been there, done that. I've tried to change myself to fit in. It just made me miserable, and it made me feel like I was lying to everyone. So
the brown dealer boots just weren't for you.
No.
And would you have any advice for people out there who maybe are also going through the same thing, or have went through the same thing and are trying to deal with it now?
I know it's really, really cliche, but just be yourself. Be authentic, and don't change yourself for other people, because it's just not worth it. It's not worth it to sacrifice your personality and individuality just so people will like you, because people will like you or not like you no matter what you do.
Not everybody's going to get along. That's just the way the world is.
No. And at least if people are liking you for being yourself, then you get to be yourself.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about it. Thank you very much for coming today. You're a star.
Thank you.
Would you have any final words to the camera?
No, I don't think so.
Do you want to give a wave bye?
Bye-bye.
And that's it. And
cut.